Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news out of southwest Detroit, where folks in a neighborhood there are rattled after a shooting suspect leads police on a wild chase, ending in a shootout.
The SUV flying down Livernois and police cars chasing after him.
I didn't know what was going on. It was scary. It was scary for me.
Yeah, that crazy chase tops our show here at 4. This is video from the scene. We're told the suspect was wanted in connection to a shooting. Let's get right out to Priya, man, who's been on the ground there since the story broke. Priya, what are you learning?
And Jason, that high-speed chase ended here at Fort and Springwell, and you can see a massive police presence still here. State police and Detroit police involved in this chase. As you mentioned, that driver is wanted in a non-fatal shooting that happened on Friday. Police were conducting surveillance on a home. They saw the driver and the passenger walk out of that home, get into their SUV. The second cops put on their sirens. Those two guys took off. Now, this high-speed chase started at Junction and Otis, and then the driver jumped onto southbound I-75, eventually getting off on Schaefer, driving the wrong way on a number of Detroit streets before getting back on northbound 75 and coming off on Springwells, where eventually he was boxed in by both state police and Detroit police. Let's take a look live at Sky 4 right now so you can get a bird's eye view of what we're talking about here. Now, scary moments here for police. While they were trying to get this driver out of the vehicle, he started using the SUV as a weapon, trying to hit officers with that vehicle. That's when 3 Detroit police and 1 state trooper did open fire. The 2 people inside were significantly injured. We have just learned that the passenger died and the driver is now in the hospital. No officers were injured, but you can only imagine for people who were working or driving or just being outside in the area when this happened, just how scary it was. Take a listen.
Well, I didn't know what was going on. You had police cars coming from all different directions. So you were kind of caught in the middle. You didn't know whether to stay or keep going. And it was I just wanted to go home. It was scary. It was scary for me because you don't know what's happening.
And very scary for police officers as well when that suspect tried using that SUV as a weapon. Now, this chase started at about 2:20 this afternoon, only lasted about 20 minutes. State police got involved when that driver went onto I-75. Now, again, that driver and that passenger were wanted in connection to a non-fatal shooting that happened on Friday. We've learned just moments ago that that passenger died. The driver is in the hospital. No officers were injured. And of course, an investigation has only just started. Reporting live from Southwest Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. We are following more breaking news from Lansing on the Flint water investigation. The Associated Press reports state investigators have seized the state-owned mobile devices used by former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder and more than 60 past or present state officials. The warrants were sought by the Attorney General's office and Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy. The AP also reporting one search warrant called for the content of former Governor Snyder's cell phone, iPad, and computer hard drive. We'll have more on this story coming up on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. Also at 4, the investigation of an off-duty Detroit police officer shot and killed at her home in Garden City. This happened last night near Belton and Cherry Hill Road. Neighbors say they woke up to gunfire in what police are calling a domestic situation. Chief James Craig today saying that officer was Elaine Williams. She was a 14-year veteran on the force. The chief says Williams was always full of life.
She certainly is a tremendous loss, but her legacy certainly will live on. She touched so many people. I guess the best way to describe her is she would be someone that when she walked into a room, the room would light up.
Garden City and state police are handling this case. One other person was injured in that and taken to the hospital. Right now, westbound I-94 at State Street in Ann Arbor is down to 1 lane because of a semi that rolled over. The northbound ramp is also closed in that area. No word on what caused this accident, but the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office says that closure is expected to last throughout the evening commute, so you might want to find another way if you're headed that direction. And eastbound M59 is back open after several cars got tangled up with a semi. This morning, only the left lane remained open after the crash near Rochester and DeQuinder. You can see several cars badly damaged by that semi. However, no reports of any injuries there. All right, let's get our first check of the forecast on a day that has been warming up very nicely, Ben Bailey.
Yeah, it looks fantastic out there, Jason, but these temperatures are just a little bit cool for this time of year. We're in the mid-60s. Typically, we would be in the mid-70s for highs. There's some wind out there, but it's not terrible. Kind of variable at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So tonight, skies are going to remain mostly clear. Pretty dry air and not much of a breeze, so those temperatures are going to drop off. We'll be down to 52 by midnight. All of us are going to the 40s, so it's going to be a pretty chilly start. We'll look at a much improved forecast by the end of the week coming up in just a few minutes. Jason?
All right, sounds good, Ben. President Trump is the center of attention in London, where he began a formal state visit earlier today. As we bring in Kimberly Gill for more on this, there is some controversy following the president, Kim, but he is being shown the respect you would expect of a world leader here.
Yeah, he is, Jason, and good afternoon to you. The British royal family has really rolled out the royal red carpet for President Trump. His schedule includes welcomes, tours, time for tea, a state banquet hosted by the Queen, and a lot of other things. There are some clouds of controversy, though, as you mentioned, but so far, all is going pretty good. The president and Melania Trump were welcomed to Buckingham Palace by Prince Charles, and then Queen Elizabeth greeted the president there. Some observers thought the president gave the Queen a fist bump, but veteran royal watchers say he showed difference by shaking the tips of her fingers, and he waited to offer his hand until the Queen offered hers. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla hosted the president and First Lady for afternoon tea. The warm welcome was not shared by London's mayor, however, a longtime critic of the president.
Some of the things Donald Trump has done over the last 2-3 years, Londoners find abhorrent and offensive.
Now, protests against the president's visit have already started in London and are expected to continue and possibly expand tomorrow, we're told. The London mayor's comments about President Trump did not go unanswered. Before arriving in London, the president called Mayor Carney, quote, stone cold loser and nasty. The president was also recorded referring to Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, as nasty, although he denied making that comment. The president has injected himself into British politics, offering praise for outspoken Conservative Party member Boris Johnson, who hopes to replace Theresa May as prime minister. President Trump will meet with May tomorrow, and we will hear from the president tomorrow when he and Prime Minister May will host a joint news conference following their meeting. On Wednesday, the president will join Queen Elizabeth for a D-Day commemoration in southern England. Later tomorrow, he travels to Ireland to meet the Irish prime minister there. And on Thursday, the president will attend ceremonies in France marking the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. Then the president will return to Washington, where Democrats in Congress are, of course, ramping up pressure to obtain the president's financial records, to hold the attorney general in contempt, to get more White House aides to testify about possible obstruction of justice, and build momentum for possible impeachment. So that's a mouthful, Jason, a lot going on there, but we will keep up on any developing information that comes up, and we'll keep you covered. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
Makeshift memorials are growing in Virginia Beach to honor the 12 people killed in a mass shooting last Friday. 11 city employees and a contractor were shot to death by a longtime city worker who had resigned earlier in the day. Co-workers, police officers, and others attended the midday memorial service today.
Our souls are numb because no one expected this to happen. Our world has forever changed because of one person's choice to take life away from us.
Now, despite the shooter resigning from his job earlier that day, investigators still say they have not yet established a motive for the killing of so many co-workers. Just into our newsroom, California sues drug maker Purdue Pharma and the company's former president over the marketing of opioids. Meantime, back here at home, Rochester Community Schools are developing a plan to tackle the opioid epidemic. Paula Tutman has a look at what's being discussed.
We heard from a teenager who remembers going on drug runs with her father.
I had gotten into a car chase. We hardly had money. We were living in hotels.
A young woman who lost much of her childhood to drug addiction.
I'm really, really lucky that I came out on the other side of this without, any debilitating diseases or felonies.
A Red Wings announcer who lost his son to opioids.
Every day there isn't 5 minutes that goes by I'm not thinking about Jamie.
When you put these people in a room.
But his sentence was up. The jail says goodbye. That was it. 48 hours later, he was gone.
with law enforcement.
Because there's drug houses in all of our communities.
A U.S. Congresswoman.
Is there no way that the court could require that the handoff be like literally day after?
Big Pharma, educators, and a concept to not just talk about the opioid problem.
A great way to start a conversation is to decide what you want to get done in that conversation.
The Rochester Community Schools District hosted the Opioid Substance Use Disorder Roundtable discussion this morning and asked me to moderate.
The information presented is neither like frank enough or like honest enough.
From the jail and the prison side to the healthcare side to the insurance side. We all need to be able to interact better.
My action item, maybe the start of the school year, each grade, at least a parent or guardian must attend for their kid to get into school for that year, has to attend a meeting on mental health.
Look at that, guys.
We're saving someone's life today, and there isn't a way to report that incident to a meaningful body of people that can support that person.
What the group came up with is exploring ways that could actually result in the start of the fall school year, looking very different for students in the district.
But obviously it is so much cheaper to do prevention at the federal level.
Including working towards a designated counselor.
We're not just talking about adding more school counselors. We're talking about what's the benchmark look like. Is that substance abuse counselors? Is that extra social workers who are focused on mental health triage? Is that clinicians actually in our school buildings?
And curriculum changes that could actually include drug use and addiction education in a very organized, consistent way.
We need to get kids in 3rd grade, 5th grade. Don't be scared of it. It's like at one point we were scared of sex education.
Also, proactively encouraging parental participation in a drug orientation program at the start of the school year.
I think it can be proactive, and I also think it can be inviting. I don't think we need to run around scaring the hell out of people. I think we need to educate people.
There was really heavy lifting done this morning, not just conversation, but committees actually formed to turn that conversation into action that could really change the way Rochester Community Schools operate in the near future. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Proactive. We hope something gets done in a great way. Thanks, Paula. So to come, closing in on the source, what kids who try internet challenges might be suffering from that parents are missing. And we want to update you on the breaking news we started off first at 4 with. This is the car that led police on a chase on the freeway and then through the streets of Detroit. It was rammed and spun out by police multiple times, but kept going. It ended in Southwest when the car was blocked in by police. More shots were fired. We have learned the driver was injured, is at the hospital, and the passenger was killed. Those two people, as we say, were in the car, and shots were fired there. We will have more updates following we get any more new information on this. But as you see, that chase is now over in Southwest Detroit, and we're right back.